Mike.
Thank you, Emmy. So how would you like to earn money tax-free at home? You can earn $80 an hour or more tax-free. And it's legal. Believe it or not, this is legal. It might surprise you what it actually is, though. Might even surprise me if this ain't working. Oh, come on. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Come on. There we go. Change your oil yourself. That's how you can earn $80 an hour or more at home. Change oil yourself. You can do it at Jiffy Lube, or you can do it at home. There are two types of oil that you can use. You can use conventional oil, or you can use synthetic oil. A lot of people believe synthetic is better. I like synthetic better myself. At Jiffy Lube, it'll cost you about $30 for an oil change with conventional oil. If you do it yourself at home, it'll cost you about $15. It will save you then $15. With synthetic oil, it'll cost you $54 roughly at Jiffy Lube. Now $32 at home, saving you $22. Now there's more savings than just this, more than the 15 or 22, because Jiffy Lube tells you you should change your oil every, how many miles?
3,000.
Every 3,000 miles. That's what Jiffy Lube tells you. Consumer Reports has done a study examining the oil quality and so forth, and they found that 7,500 miles is sufficient for any modern vehicle. 30 years ago, 40 years ago, every 3,000 miles probably was a good idea. Today, modern engines are built better and work better, and they don't foul the oil as much. So 7,500 miles. So change it at least half as often as Jiffy Lube will tell you. So if you go to Jiffy Lube and get 2 changes of conventional oil, it'll cost you $60. If you do 1 change during that same period at home with synthetic oil, which is better for your engine, you'll save $28. It takes you only about 20 minutes to change your oil. So that's $84 an hour for 20 minutes. Too bad you can't keep going all day like that. However, if you want to increase your savings, 2 changes of conventional oil at Jiffy Lube is $60, so you can do 1 change of conventional oil, according to Consumer Reports in that same time period. Your savings is $45. In 20 minutes, you're making $135 an hour. So what do? How do you change your oil? Well, you go get oil and a filter, and you can run down to Walmart to do that. I prefer Mobil 1 full synthetic oil when I change my oil. And there's an array of oil filters that you can choose from. How do you know which filter works for your car? It's easy. At Walmart, they have a little computer. You look up your make, model, and year of your car, and it'll tell you which one to get. And there are a variety of filters. You can get really inexpensive ones for about $3.50. You can get more expensive ones. I prefer a little bit more expensive one. So the $32 I said, I bought a $9 oil filter that claims it can last 10,000 miles. I usually only go about 75. So here's my Fram Extended Guard 10,000 mile oil filter. Here's my Mobil 1 ready to go. So what do you need to change your oil? Well, here you go. The first thing I do is I put on a black shirt. When I'm crawling underneath the car, I tend to rub against things, and a black shirt won't show the filth. You can wash it, and it works great. Neoprene gloves. You're always going to get dirt on your hands. I don't like to get my hands too dirty, so I get neoprene gloves. You need a floor jack or some kind of a jack. And the thing is, for floor, and you always want a jack stand. If you're going to jack your car up, use a jack stand for safety. You can get these inexpensively at Harbor Freight. I think they had one of these on sale for about $29, and you get a pair of these for, I think it was $19. Harbor Freight, I found, is a great place to buy tools. They're not the greatest tools in the world, but I don't use them every day. I don't need professional grade tools like tools that I would use every single day, and they work great, inexpensive. You need an oil pan, you need a funnel, and kitty litter. You need kitty litter. Why do you need kitty litter? Because, at least for me, I spill all the time. Or you can use newspaper and spread it out underneath your oil pan. The other thing that I forgot to mention, paper towels. I always pull out the paper towels when I'm changing the oil, because you get oil everywhere if you're not careful. So jack your car up, secure it safely with a jack stand. Here's the oil filter. You need to identify where your parts are. So here's your oil filter, here's your oil plug right here. This is the transmission pan. You don't want to drain your transmission. I actually had a friend that tried to change his oil on his own. He didn't know what he was doing. He drained the oil and then filled the transmission and drove his car and wrecked his engine. Same guy actually wrecked his engine twice. I was in the car with him, riding down the freeway when his oil light went on. I said, "Paul, stop now." And he says, "The next exit is only a couple miles down." I said, "Stop now." He didn't stop now, and his engine seized. So anyway, identify your parts. Here I am with the glove, taking the plug out, draining the oil. The oil filter. The oil filter, typically you don't need all these tools to remove an oil filter. It should be hand tight. You should remove it with your hand, tighten it back with your hand. But if you, as you see, it can be very messy. So after you drain your oil, put the plug back in, move your pan over and get it underneath your filter when you change your filter. You get your new filter out, dip your finger either in the old oil or the new oil, it doesn't matter, and put it a little bit around the gasket before you put it on. And then you just hand tighten it back on. Fill it up and check how much oil is in your engine. Now, when you change your oil and you fill it up, you're going to see that this is overfilled. What you need to do is start your engine after you've poured the oil in, let it circulate a little bit, fill into the oil filter and so forth, then check it and you get an accurate reading. So here's my start time and my end time. I got a phone call in the middle of this time. It took me 22 minutes worth of phone call. And I earned big money. So what do you do with your oil when you're done? Take it to AutoZone. They have a big tank in here and you just dump your old oil back in the tank. Recycle it. But changing your oil can save a lot of money. I've got 4 cars, and if I'm changing the oil constantly at Jiffy Lube, it's going to cost me a lot of money. But if I change it at home, I can save a lot. Thank you.
Guess now I can go home and go change my oil.